Jasmine Richardson, then 12, planned and took part in one of the most heinous murders of the 20th century, the systematic murder of her parents and her younger brother. In the name of love, she did it with her 300-year-old werewolf boyfriend, Jeremey Steinke. Steinke, in reality, was a 23-year-old goth fan who led Jasmine down a sinister path. Authorities initially believed that Jasmine had been kidnapped by the depraved murderer who had killed her family. However, they soon discovered that Jasmine was the mastermind behind the horror. Where did these two meet? Why did such a young girl commit such heinous crimes? And how did she manage to walk free? We'll cover all this and more in the video. But before we continue, please be sure to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. With that, let's get started. Jasmine Richardson met Jeremey Steinke at a punk rock show, and Richardson was characterized as a cheerful and social girl before meeting Steinke. That all changed when Richardson began dating the 23-year-old Jeremey, who was 11 years her elder. Richardson was immediately drawn to the goth lifestyle after becoming a member of the website vampirefreaks.com. She wore dark makeup to make herself appear much older than she was. Jeremey Steinke's upbringing was not as idyllic as Richardson's. Steinke's mom was an avid alcoholic, and her lover abused him. He was bullied at school, and by the time that he met Richardson, he had already tried to commit suicide. Steinke had created an elaborate persona since the age of 13. He claimed to be a 300-year-old werewolf while carrying a vial of blood around his neck. When Jasmine's parents, Deborah and Mark, discovered the relationship, they forbade Jasmine from seeing Jeremey. However, Jeremey Steinke and Jasmine Richardson were madly in love. Jeremey, enraged by Jasmine's parents, wrote on his blog on April 3, 2006, "Payment. My lover's rents are totally unfair. They say that they really care. They don't know what is going on, they just assume. As their greed continues to consume, she is slowly going insane. She continues to think that I came into her life to help her out, and to stop what they keep trying to shout. It's all total BS. I want to slit their throats. They will regret what they've done, especially when I see to it that they're gone. They shall pay for their insolence. Finally, there shall be silence. Their blood shall be payment." However, as seen in the police reports, Richardson proposed the plan first. She informed Jeremey that she had a plan in an email, which read, "It begins with me killing them and ends with me living with you." "Well, I love your plan, but we need to get a little more creative with details and stuff," Jeremey responded. Jasmine allegedly told friends about her plans to murder her parents. However, they either didn't believe her or assumed that she was joking. Jasmine's Vampire Freaks user page, Runaway Devil, falsely stated that she was 15 years old and ended with the message, "Welcome to my tragic end." The young couple decided to watch Oliver Stone's 1994 film, Natural Born Killers, the night before the murders. Jeremey told his friends that both he and his sweetheart should proceed with their plans in the same way, but without including her younger brother. Jeremey also told an undercover officer, "Have you ever watched the movie Natural Born Killers? I think it's the best love story of all time." Then, on April 23, 2006, Jasmine Richardson and her boyfriend carried out their massacre at her parents' house on a quiet suburban street in Medicine Hat, Canada. A neighbor told reporters the next day that a young boy went to his friend's house, Richardson's younger brother, and thought he saw a dead body through the window. He ran home and informed his mother, who ended up calling the police. When Inspector Brent Secondiak reached the scene, he could see one person on the ground through a basement window. He requested assistance from other officers, believing they might be able to rescue someone inside the house. But it was too late. No one inside was alive. Mark and Deborah Richardson, as well as their 8-year-old son, had been brutally murdered. One family member, Mark and Deborah's daughter, Jasmine, was clearly missing from the scene. Secondiak said that it wasn't even in the realm of possibility that Jasmine was a suspect. When the police pieced the events together, they discovered that the mother, Deborah, died first after already being stabbed a dozen times. Mark, the father, tried to fight back with a screwdriver. However, he was also stabbed to death. The bodies of both parents were discovered in the basement. The youngest Richardson's throat was slashed open in his blood-soaked bed upstairs. Fearing that Jasmine Richardson was also a victim, police issued a statement saying they were looking for her regarding a serious family matter and issued an Amber Alert. However, after collecting evidence in Jasmine's room and closets, police detectives came to the realization that she was the prime suspect. A trail of digital evidence led detectives to Jasmine Richardson as well as Jeremey Steinke, primarily through their email exchanges. The pair were apprehended in Steinke's truck after being tracked down. Steinke was said to have murdered Richardson's parents downstairs while she stayed upstairs in her brother's room. According to witnesses, the two did admit to the murders. According to one eyewitness, Steinke said that the murder victims had been gutted like a fish. Jasmine Richardson, who was simply known as JR at the time due to her age, pleaded not guilty at her 2007 trial. She admitted to having hypothetical conversations about murdering her family, but had no intention of actually carrying them out. In court, Jasmine testified that her brother was gurgling. She stated that they decided to kill her brother because she believed it was inhumane to leave him to continue living without his parents. Jasmine and Steinke were having a good laugh and kissing in a nearby restaurant 2 hours after her family died. When asked why they brutally killed her parents and younger brothers at her trial, Jasmine replied, "I loved him so much. I thought it would bring us closer together." She was eventually found guilty by a jury of 3 counts of first-degree murder and sentenced to the maximum sentence for a juvenile: 6 years in prison, followed by 4 years of community supervision. Jasmine was only 13 years old when she was convicted. Jeremey Steinke was also convicted of 3 counts of first-degree murder in 2008. He was tried and convicted without the possibility of parole for 25 years because he was 25 years of age at the time of his conviction. From behind bars, the two exchanged letters in which they promised to marry. In each of the letters, there was no expression of guilt or remorse. After her sentencing, Jasmine Richardson underwent extensive rehabilitation and treatment. Psychiatric evaluations revealed that she had conduct disorder, as well as oppositional defiant disorder. Richardson was released from prison in 2016 at the age of 22, just a year younger than Jeremey was when he executed the awful murders. Using probation officer reports, Court of Queen's Bench Justice Scott Brooker stated, "You've indicated through your conduct you have a desire to atone for what you did. Clearly, you cannot undo the past. You can only live each day with the knowledge that you can control how you behave." Casey Lancaster, a friend of the couple's, pleaded guilty to an obstruction charge in Medicine Hat Provincial Court after the accessory to murder charge was dropped. As a major part of the plea bargain, she received 1 year of house arrest and was ordered to abstain from drugs and alcohol. Jasmine Richardson was released in 2011 under the guidelines of her sentencing to serve time in the community under conditional supervision. She enrolled as a new student at Mount Royal University in Calgary, Alberta in September 2011. Her 10-year sentence was completed in 2016, and she was completely released from the criminal justice system. Jasmine's attorney, Catherine Bayek, believed that the system has worked in this case and that Jasmine was highly unlikely to reoffend. Bayek also stated that Jasmine's juvenile criminal records would be sealed after she had not committed any crimes as an adult for 5 years. Officer Brett Secondiak one of the first officers on the scene, expressed concern that Jasmine wasn't truly rehabilitated and hoped that she had not tricked the criminal justice system. Observers of the case believe Jasmine is living in an unknown part of Canada, supposedly under an alias. Do you think that Jasmine was fully aware of the decisions she made as a child? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.